are already a current participant? And how many of you are here because you're considering joining PhoneLab for next year? So thank you all for coming. Today is our information session for next year, what we have to offer next year. So I'll start with an introduction. So my name is Maulik Dave. I work as a PhoneLab Administrator. And we have here, I think Jeff just stepped out, is Steve Ko here? So our Professor Stephen Ko and Dr. Chun-Wing Chow. And we have our fantastic graduate students like first year PhD students, Jing Hao Shi. And,
okay, John here.
Yeah, and Dion Key. Also, we have here our partner in this project, Sprint account representative, John Frankie. So as we want to grow and offer a great service, then John is helping us with all the issues from the Sprint side. And so if you are here as getting more information, you may be, as now you know who we are, you would like to know what is PhoneLab. As if this is your first year that you're considering for next year, then you may want to know what is PhoneLab. So PhoneLab is a smartphone test bed. It's located at the University at Buffalo and Computer Science and Engineering Department. Now, when I say it's a smartphone test bed, it may not mean much to you. So let's talk more about that, what that means. Basically, PhoneLab participants make the PhoneLab. That's you. So our model is pretty simple, that participants contribute data that researchers are attempting to improve the smartphones. And PhoneLab participants, as if you are considering becoming a PhoneLab participant, then you may have some privacy concerns. So we want to make sure that all the things are covered by a same way university human subjects research. And you may be here because you want to find out more about what is it in it for you to be a PhoneLab participant. So what we're offering for your participation is discounted service plan. So that's possible because of the great service, great partner with the Sprint and National Science Foundation grant that we have. So what we're offering next year is a $45 a month. And that includes unlimited data, unlimited voice, unlimited messaging, everything, all you can eat, unlimited. So normally, just for a comparison, if you get this as an individual from Sprint, this plan will cost you $80 a month. Also, there is a $200 price for a phone and a 2-year contract. We are not asking you to make any contracts. We are though asking you to make a 6-month commitment to be a PhoneLab participant. So we also realized that a lot of people who joined PhoneLab last year, this was their first smartphone. So to best of our ability, we also provide a on-campus support for not only the experiments that we ask you to run, but in general, if you run into any issues with the smartphone. So we have Sprint support. Yeah, myself and John are going to help you be the support.
How many people have Maulik helped this year with their smartphone?
Well, thank you. So, also, when you become a PhoneLab participant, not only that you get a new great phone and you save a lot of money, you also are helping us to move forward the next generation of smartphone research. So you become a part of the PhoneLab, you become a part of the innovation in smartphones. And I think, just like Jeff mentioned to current participants, smartphones are becoming ubiquitous, and they are just going to get even more accessible and everywhere. So there will be a lot of innovation that will come out, and you will be part of that. So I'm not going to talk about speeds and feeds, but I want to drive the point that what we are offering next year, Nexus 5, is a latest and greatest phone. Current year we offered a Galaxy Nexus. We are skipping a generation and going to the Nexus 5. So it is a highly rated 2014 model that we are offering. It has a very high reviews. on a CNET and Amazon. It has a stunning 5-inch display and blazing fast 4G capabilities. And also, it promises an improved battery life. So from last time I checked, it was 17-hour talk time. Also, if you are a current participant or if you are considering being a participant, you may have you may want to know about the Spring service. So Jeff mentioned in his presentation about we all use our own dog food, eat our own cookies, eat our own dog food. So we all experience some challenge with the rollout. What happened is Spring had a 3G and they upgraded that tower to 4G and such, but that is all behind us, and now we have a 4G in a greater Buffalo area. So you will have a 4G coverage, and service disruptions will not happen anymore. So if you have done some research on us, when the PhoneLab started, our model was we offer a free service for a first year, and after 2 years, we learned that that is not very working out. So if you're first time here, then we haven't taken away anything from you. But why is because it was expensive and it created some participation problems. And also, we want you to be part of the PhoneLab and be part of it like you were skin in the game from the beginning. So if this is successful, then we'll continue to offer discount PhoneLab service in the future years as well. So phone will still be free, but the service will cost $45 a month.
I wanted to elaborate on one of the problems that we have by offering, this free phone, because we only have, let's say, 200 to give away the free phone, right? So there are others who wanted to participate, but we have to say no because we just don't, have those free phones anymore. And honestly, out of all the 200 who have received totally free service, they don't use it at all because it's free to them. So I'm guilty part of that because I have so many other phones, so I don't use it. So I think this is a better model because if you really are interested in using it, you don't mind really paying the $45, right? So that's and we can, now we don't have limit. If we have 1,000 people who wanted to participate, we don't have to turn them away. So that's the idea.
Right. So it's just like Dr. Chow mentioned, and that is a scalability. Once we have it, once we start discounted service that Spring is offering us, then we can scale to a bigger test bed, and also it guarantees that most of the people who are going to use it as a primary phone, and that comes to our participant expectations. So when we are giving this deeply discounted service, we have two very basic expectations. One is that you use this as your primary mobile phone, and most of the people has. But this sort of, when you are paying for it, it guarantees us that as well, that you are most likely to use it as a primary phone. Also, join the available smartphone experiments and such. So, again, all these experiments are protected by human subjects that the regulatory board that university offers at academic institutes. Also, we very thoroughly test all the apps that before we ask you to download, and we don't tell you that you have to participate in any particular experiment, but we do ask that you choose. And this year our requirements were pretty low. Like someone mentioned that how do I know I'm contributing enough and such. We all ask for is a one ongoing experiment. So, and it could be something that runs in a background and does the network performance analysis. So you don't even know that it's there. It has no impact on your usage of the phone. So, but we do expect that you will participate in experiments. Again, if I'm sure that if you're a new participant, then you will have a privacy concern, and we want to just spend a little bit of time that we make every effort to protect privacy of our participants. That means that again and again, all experiments that we offer are reviewed by university institutional review boards. Most of the time they get exemption because it's not relevant, but since it's being used by human subjects, it goes to the institutional review board. And we also make sure before we release this experiment to you, we work with the experimenter about what kind of data they want to collect, why, and they are collected utilizing all the standard permission interfaces. When we collect the data, it's never associated with any user. It's always associated with a unique ID we assign to every device, so there is no correlation between data and a user. And it's kept on a secure server. And in no circumstances we give the personal identifier to the experimenters. So your privacy is very important, and we take all the measures possible for that. If you are, how do you sign up for next year? So we have opened up PhoneLab.org join page. If you are current participants, you will have a priority. You don't need to sign up or communicate. Then you can make a decision and switch over to a new phone. So you don't have to worry about it if you're a continuing participant. For a new participant, if you could sign up, then we can communicate further with you. And so the model that we are going to work this time is we're going to 6-month increment, and so you will have a chance to leave PhoneLab every 6 months if for whatever reason you choose to. So 6-month commitment is what we are asking for. So sometime in early August you can pay 6 months, and you will have a phone in the middle of August. So with that, again, open it for a question and answer.
I wanted to add something actually to those of you who missed the first part of the presentation, like before 5, right? So in addition to getting a good discounted service, a great phone, and also contributing to the research and advancement of knowledge and improving the mobile services, you as a PhoneLab participant will also benefit by being able to run some of the innovative apps that Jeff and others are developing to benefit the user. And examples are apps that can manage your battery better, apps that can improve your experience by being able to taking advantage of both Wi-Fi and the cellular interface, so your download speed will be much faster, and all that. All those applications can only be run and only available to PhoneLab participants, not to anyone else in the world. Okay, so that's a privilege of being a PhoneLab participant. Just wanted to add, those of you who were here before 5 heard this already. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. So I cannot have covered all the concerns that you may have, and such. So I'm sure you still have questions for a next year rollout, and we have a team here to answer that. So, go ahead, please.
Can you tell us a little about the camera on the new phone?
8
megapixel camera.
Yes.
Yeah. Scan down here because I did pull up some of the specs. Is there a particular thing about it that you?
Well, I'm just wondering like how it compares to the camera on the phones we now have.
Better.
Yes.
There's a new generation better phone, so I would.
Yeah.
An 8 megapixel camera, lens captures more light for better action shots and well lit night shots. And it has optical image stabilization, which is big. Because how many of you have experienced taking a picture and your hand moves slightly and you have a really, really blurry picture? This will autocorrect that for you, which is really nice.
I just want to pause because I introduced myself wrong. This is John Frankie. This is our Sprint rep. John is super nice. It's been really fun working with him. We worked with another guy beforehand who was competing with John for niceness. Both these guys are awesome. They're a big part of why we have this test bed here. When I talk to other researchers at other universities, they're like, you you guys are working with a telecom company? And I'm like, yeah, they're super nice. People don't seem to have that experience. So I think they're local guys, they're great. What about the back?
Yeah, what's at the end of the 6-month period? Is it you're switching out the phone for a new one?
No, so the plan is to continue, and we'll have to see what happens after next year. We need to apply for more funding to continue the project, but hopefully we'll get it. If we do, I think the plan would be to have yearly phone upgrades. So, you know, every fall we'll have a new phone model for you if we choose to continue to participate, but not in 6 months.
So you'd have to come in every year to switch out for your phone.
Yeah.
So this will be the same phone for, like, say, if you continue after 6 months and such, this phone will be the same and such, and hopefully next year will be a next generation of the phone.
Right.
That has been happening for, this is the third phone, and it, as I said, we skip the generation and went even further.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you pay $270 in one shot for the 6 months,
Yes.
and there's no other tax or fees or any other?
Yeah, by the way, yeah, it's all included, so if you consider.
That's just, and that's the one, that billing cycle is done to just simplify our lives, because you're actually paying us, right? So,
And is there an age requirement to join?
some of the experiments I think have to be 18. But our real requirement, this is important for I, because I don't think it came out in the slides, is we require some kind of UV affiliation.
No, I'm just saying, if I brought my family over to make their population big.
Now we want like.
Yeah, we need each participant to have UV affiliation. Right? That's important for us just to run down.
Yeah, part of the reason is the pricing that we provide at the University of Buffalo is part of New York State OGS. So being part of the state university system, they can take advantage of those price points and aggressive pricing that we can provide through the state of New York contract. And the benefits are not only a low price point, but pretty much no term. So free equipment and the ability to disconnect the phones at pretty much any point in time. Obviously, there's a commitment of at least 6 months to study. But if you went into a Sprint store as not part of the state system, you would have a 2-month or 2-year term. You know, typically $100 to $200 for a phone, cancellation fees if you cancel. So it really is a great deal when you look at it versus going into the store off the street on your own.
So this is a great question. So there is no taxes or anything. It's a $45 per month, and with a 6-month commitment because of the overhead and all that. 6 months. We do charge $5 for a PayPal. That PayPal charges us and stuff. So we are going to only handle these payments electronically. So we will send you the invoice. So money goes directly to the SUNY Research Foundation, and so we have $275. So no tax or no hidden charge.
Yeah. So up to you. Yep.
I have 2 questions. It's 45 whether you're continuing or starting out. Okay, that's the first one.
Same price for everybody next year.
And then the second one may be a little bit ignorant, but I had a lot of trouble with calls being dropped in coverage. Is that going to be improved with the 4G plans?
Like John's here.
I don't know how much you keep up to date with what's going on in the telecom world, but Sprint has undertaken an unheard of change in its network and upgrades across the entire footprint in the United States for its wireless coverage. In the 10 years previous to this, we operated and maintained 3 separate networks. There was a Nextel IDEN network, which did the push-to-talk service, and that operated on our 800 megahertz spectrum. There was the Sprint PCS service that was out there, which was traditionally a CDMA service that operated on our 1.9 gigahertz or 1900 megahertz spectrum. Then we had another network, which was called the WiMAX network, which was an affiliation with Clearwire, and that operated nationwide on our 2.5 gigahertz spectrum. Well, what we've done over the past 2 years across the entire country is tear down those 3 networks, put up 1 new network. And over the past 12 months here in Western New York, we took 187 cell sites and we transformed them from the old network to the new network. And as we went through that process, there's a thing called a soft handoff from one cell site to the next. Well, the old network wouldn't soft handoff to the new network. So as customers would experience driving down the thruway and hit a cell site that was on the new network coming from the old network, they would lose their call. We are 99% complete on migrating all of the cell sites in Western New York and just about everywhere in the country. There's one cell site downtown that we're having an issue with the landlord that will be resolved quickly. And there's, I think, a cluster of about 3 cell sites out here in the Amherst area. So there's about 4 cell sites that are still left. But the majority of the UB campus, I think, is on the new network. The only other thing that's still out there is the backhaul, right? How do we transport all of that IP data that's going across the wireless network? Well, it's still a wireline world that follows up behind it and transports that data out to the internet. And part of that is the backhaul, Ethernet backhaul to support all those higher speeds data. And we're working with our access vendors to complete those upgrades on our cell sites as well, to provide you higher speed data. So if you look at what we're doing today, 4G here in West New York on the cell sites that are completed, you're going to see an average of 5 to 20 meg throughput. And as we complete some of this first generation, we're going to look to our second generation of 4G LTE. In markets like New York and Chicago, we've already done it. It's called Sprint Spark. And in essence, what we're doing is we're bonding that 2.5, that 1.9, and that 800 megahertz spectrum into a single channel to transmit higher speed. So what we're seeing in New York, where we have what we call Sprint Spark deployed already, it's 50 to 60 meg throughput on a wireless device. And nobody else is doing that today. So we're almost done with 4G from 5 to 20 meg throughput on the LTE, and then look to the future down the road in another 12 months time, you're going to see 50 to 60 meg. Hopefully here in Western New York with our network combining into one channel. Pretty exciting.
John?
Yes?
I'm sorry I didn't follow.
Okay.
Let me ask her question again. When can we expect to not experience such high call volumes?
For a majority of people in Western New York, those should be by the wayside. For most of you, if you're still out in this area, there's 3 cell sites that are yet to be migrated. So hopefully when those are done in the next few weeks,
Okay.
most of that will mitigate.
And trust me, I just want to point out, you guys in PhoneLab have the strongest advocate for improved Sprint support right here. You know, all instance there all day. It's like, when are they going to have 4G? When are they going to have 4G? I got on a plane and I was going somewhere and I was like, oh, there's 4G at the airport. So I told Maulik this, right? And Maulik was like, so now when participants come in, I'm going to say, you want faster speeds? Go to the airport.
That's why we waited to have this meeting all the time, just now that we have a 4G.
All right.
Okay, so as an instructor and grad student, August is the worst time for me to be paying $270. Is there, like, when exactly are we going to have to pay that? Is there any way of at least like pushing it to September until we start getting paid again?
It's not something I thought of, actually.
Is that something that will affect almost all of the grad students that are trying
It's
to?
a recent graduate student.